Tonight, UFO Hospital welcomes new Director of Health, Minerva Ikimau. P. Crick on tropical cyclone insurance coverage for Niue. And Tuapa undefeated champions 3 years in a row for Tuamotu Nines tournament. Whakalofalahiatu, I'm Sarai Mangawa and welcome to our BCA News Bulletin. A special welcome to all our viewers from around the Pacific thanks to our partner Pacifica TV. Leading our news tonight, the new Director of Health, Minerva Ikimau, has been fortunate to join a team that has been very supportive and kind just 2 weeks into settling into her new post at the UFO Hospital. BCA News sat down with the Health Director as she shares more on key areas of focus and goals for her department.
Niue-born Minerva Ikimau is glad to be back home after working abroad for years. A registered nurse by profession, specializing in critical care and emergency pediatric nursing, she brings with her a wealth of experience. Ikimau shares some key areas of focus in the health department that include staff development and service delivery.
Given that it is still early days and this phase really has been about meeting and greeting the various teams in health and getting a feel of the current lay of the land, I can't definitively identify what are the key areas that me and the team need to start focusing on. However, there are some key things that are beginning to come through quite strongly, and that's centered around, for example, staff and staffing development and capability, quality assurance, clinical governance, consumer and community focus is a big one, as well as service delivery, just a few that have come through.
Ikimau also addressed challenges of staff shortage at the health department.
So the solutions aren't going to be easy. We do need to look at, at the moment, what are our needs, but concurrently to that, we also need to look at what is our long-term sustainability plans. How do we build that pipeline locally and internationally as well? There is a diaspora of Niuean healthcare workers right across New Zealand, Australia and internationally that I would like to at least pull home for a spell. It's how we market and advertise that moving forward. To get some of these healthcare workers home would be, again, working collaboratively across networks.
The Director of Health has also highlighted some upcoming projects, such as non-communicable diseases at the top of the agenda, as well as the effects of vaping on the young population on the island.
What has come through quite strongly at the moment is and I guess it's not anything new to Niue, is our non-communicable diseases. That is actually the biggest burden on the health system at the moment, and it is something that does require, it is a work in progress. It does require a lot of effort and resources to be put into, and there is already significant work put into that. Sir Colin and his team with the Cancer Research Project, the Cool Roofing project as well, in addition to what public health and the health team are doing, for example, the hepatitis elimination program, the promotion and prevention, the oral health programs from the dental department. There's quite a few ongoing projects in place at the moment.
The new Director of Health is also reminding everyone that the flu shots are now available at the hospital and is encouraging everyone to get theirs. Marisa Takala, BCN News.
The 2022-2023 State of the Public Service Annual Report was tabled by the Niue Assembly last week. Infrastructure and central agencies met to discuss the report yesterday. BCN News will be uncovering some of the outcomes outlined in this report, starting with the Department of Utilities. Marisa Takala reports.
According to the report, as of 30th June 2023, 436 were employed by the public service, 48% were male and 52% were female. When it comes to the Department of Utilities under their water supply division, some of the challenges faced by the division was the lack of service vehicles. According to the report, for most of the year, they continued to hire one vehicle costing $20,000. Also, the high level of unaccounted for water due to leakages and the insufficient staff capacity to reconcile water meters readings that included no computer. Another challenge indicated was having only 5 permanent staff and the vacant positions still unfilled in the water resource monitoring side. However, some of the achievements by the Water Division was on the complete installation of 100 rainwater harvesting systems under the SPC GCCA SUPA project and a confirmed funding from the Australian High Commission of $2.8 million for wastewater treatment and water security projects. Over the coming days, BCN News will be highlighting outcomes from the 2022 to 2023 State of the Public Service Annual Report from the various ministries and departments.
Pacific Island nations are most vulnerable to natural disasters and tropical cyclones. Niue's last major tropical cyclone was Heta, that took a massive toll on the island 10 years ago, destroying homes, major infrastructures, extensive coastal erosion, and devastating the environment. The recovery period post-cyclone has always been the hardest process, both physically and financially. The Pacific Catastrophe Risk Insurance Company, otherwise PCRIC, offers insurance products which provide rapid cash payouts after natural disasters to help member countries respond quickly and effectively to those affected. CEO Aholotu Palu and advisor Dr. Nicholas Pondard are on the island, who explains more. Pacific Catastrophe Risk Insurance Company, or PCRIC, was established in 2016 through the Minister of Finance and the Pacific with technical and financial support from the World Bank. Chief Executive Officer Mr. Aholotu Palu and PCRIC advisor Dr. Nicholas Pondard is on the island this week for the first time. Due to COVID-19 and changing plans, they were finally able to come to Niue and hold consultations with the government of Niue.
So we've been planning to come and have this conversation with your country, but due to flight availabilities and also COVID, we didn't be able to make it here, but now we have made it here. And hopefully this workshop that we're organizing for today will be able to have a conversation with all the participants who are coming here to have a better understanding of the service that we offer to the countries, and in terms of enhancing their financial protections through disaster risk finance instrument like PCRIC.
A PCRIC presentation took place yesterday at the Public Service Commission conference room. Government representatives, officials and stakeholders attended the presentation. BCN News spoke with Dr. Pondard, who explained more on the purpose of their visit.
Basically, we're providing financial protection to the government in case of a tropical cyclone. So if a tropical cyclone of category 2 or above comes close to the island of Niue, then we provide a payout within 10 to 20 days after the disaster. So in that sense, it's very, very useful if you want to support the relief efforts, and this is where we come in.
The PCRIC policy was created for two reasons. The first is to close the gap in the market. It does not provide traditional insurance, but rather sovereign insurance to protect the whole country on a macro level. The second reason is to educate the people on what is going to the government on a disaster strike. Funds go to countries specifically to the relief period post-disaster, says Mr. Palu.
The premium being given to Niue is 100,000 for a potential payout of 1 million. That 100,000, Niue only paid 20,000. We subsidize Niue by 80,000. So meaning Niue is only paying 2% of their potential payout of 1 million.
Dr. Nicholas shared more on the mechanism of the insurance policy.
So it's kind of a very simple mechanism, so that it's easy to understand. It's based just on the height of the cyclone coming into a specific area around Niue. However, it's not a silver bullet, because you could still get some tropical cyclone that may be category 5, but outside the zone of coverage, and that may not trigger a payout. However, the idea is to find the right balance between efficiency and providing a fast payout, but also covering as many cyclones as possible.
Cook Islands is the domicile choice for PCRIC, but CEO Palu is currently working remotely in Suva, Fiji. Although it is a temporary arrangement, it is good to embed connection with fellow regional and international organizations, says Mr. Palu.
Not only that, it's cost effective for us now to operate from Suva, because in terms of overhead and operational costs, it's huge if I move into Cook Island now. I'd rather give more money to the countries rather than us utilizing it for operations. Well, down the road, maybe in a year or two, we're going to relocate ourselves to Cook Islands.
Niue now has an island-wide VHF coverage reaching out to 12 nautical miles offshore, a major extension to its maritime VHF network over the past few weeks. At the launch last Thursday, Minister for Infrastructure Honourable Crossley Tatui says safety at sea is important, with the VHF network providing a safety net for all of us.
For Niue, safety at sea means always getting home. In addition, our fishing community is important for food security, and this network is a safety net for them and by extension, all of us. The network will also provide an effective communications platform for Niue police for search and rescue, NTMO for activating the tsunami sirens, bulk fuel for marine spill response, outside services for port operations, to name a few. It will also help provide border agencies with early indication of the approach of visiting vessels.
Honourable Tatui acknowledged the Government of New Zealand for funding the extension to the network and Maritime New Zealand for their technical expertise. A team from New Zealand's Infratel were on the island recently to install the new VHF equipment on free existing telecommunication masts, including Kaho and Avasele, Sekena at Makifu and La Kepa. New Zealand High Commissioner to Niue, Mark Gibbs, says the Pacific Maritime Safety Program is focused on keeping all Niue safe.
So in Niue, the PMSP worked closely with the Departments of Transport, Fisheries and Police to support their work in keeping the people of Niue safe. Work done through the PMSP has touched many in Niue. Members of Niue's fishing community, both work and waka, have benefited from the safety workshop and improved access to safety equipment, while Niue's primary school have been doing water skills for life lessons since 2019, and I understand many of them have been doing it in the High Commission swimming pool. It was probably before I arrived, because I wouldn't get there at the moment, because I'm always in there. But no, I think it's great that we were able to provide that resource and help the school children become more water aware, more safety aware.
Niueans planning to travel to Samoa have been advised to take the necessary precautions. This comes after the current outbreak of dengue fever in the country. Head of Public Health Director Griselda Mokuia told BCN News that if anyone does experience symptoms while in Samoa, to notify the health officials while there.
From, November of last year, Samoa has now got a total of 250 cases of dengue fever. So they've noted that they had an outbreak early April, when all of a sudden they had 80 cases altogether. So we are expecting some of our Niuean colleagues to go to Samoa, because we are aware that a group's going down for study. So we'd just like to inform anyone in general who's planning to travel to Samoa to take the necessary precautionary measures.
After much anticipation, the Whale Niue Monster Raffle was drawn last Thursday in the Cook Islands. According to Cook Islands Television News, the raffle raised over $400,000. Out of the 22 lucky prize winners, 2 were from the island, including second prize winner of $10,000 went to a young couple from Alofinof, Kameha Harding and Haven Siosikefu. And the 12th prize of $1,000 went to Ioane Mamaya from Likum. Second prize winner Haven says they are overwhelmed with joy and incredibly grateful. When asked what they will be doing with the prize money, Haven says their primary plan is to prioritize their family's financial security by putting most of it into savings to ensure a safety net for the future and their 2 children. The couple also plan to give back to their parents and grandparents as a token of appreciation for their unwavering love and support. Seeing our former Niue High School students completing their tertiary education and graduating from their respective fields of study has always been an honor for Niue and our people. Last week, 23-year-old Harriet Sionetama from the village of Tuapa, Uhomotu, graduated from the University of South Pacific USP Law School after 4 years studying at the MLS campus in Vanuatu. She was crowned as the valedictorian of her graduating class, where she also delivered her farewell speech at the graduation. She was one of 396 graduates. Here's more on this story. Harriet first pursued her Bachelor's of Law degree in 2019. She was one of the New Zealand Manaki Scholarship recipients who continued with their studies when COVID-19 hit globally. When she returned to Niue during that time, Harriet still continued her studies online, while most of her peers studying at USP chose to discontinue. Now, after 4 years of hard work, dedication and commitment, she has finally graduated as the valedictorian of her class. Two proud parents, Sione Pokao and Pat Sione Tama, were able to attend her graduation and witnessed their daughter's successful achievements. This is the first in a very long time since a young Niuean has graduated from law school at USP. Harriet says she is truly blessed and grateful. She believes that a big part of her valedictory is the result of working hard as a promise to her dad, who flew her to Vanuatu in her first year and not wanting to fail. Harriet is currently undergoing her postgraduate diploma in legal practice, due to complete in June. She is also currently interning in one of the private law firms in Vanuatu as part of the program. Harriet is looking forward to returning home to family and friends and putting into practice all the lessons acquired from this achievement. The Niue Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, OR, hosted a night market last Friday. A great turnout at the commercial centre with 8 women who showcased their business ventures, ranging from food to gift packs and nails. BCN News spoke with co-facilitator of the OR program, Alice Tomailonga.
We've got our 2024 cohort here who are displaying their businesses and in preparation of opening their own businesses and getting out in the open and public for everyone to see.
Alice says this program is not a new program. The OR program has been running for its 3rd year since it began in 2021.
We started in 2021 with our new first cohort, and it's been in session since 2021, although we didn't have a cohort last year due to COVID and that sort of thing. But definitely an outlet for our women on the island to showcase their talents. Us women, we carry many hats, and that's not to say our male folks don't, but we're just so entrepreneurial, and we want these ladies to get the best out of this program.
BCN News also spoke with OR co-facilitator Fia Rex. She says this is a trade fair which they have turned into a night market for their OR cohort of 2024. It's important to showcase and display the cohort's business ventures, says Fia. They are also looking to find a home or place for the women entrepreneurs to promote and display their businesses in one location. The night market ended with good music and great company and support from locals. People showed up in numbers in their colourful attire to be part of the Autism Walk last Thursday. The walk was organised by parents of children living with autism and sponsored by the Niue Public Health Division. Here's Mary Satakala with more on this story.
Shoni Etuata is a parent whose child is autistic. She was amongst 3 parents that had organised the Autism Walk last Thursday.
We're here today to do a walk for autism, just to show others in Niue and around the world that we're here in Niue, and autism and autistic is here in Niue as well.
She says it's always a challenge raising an autistic child, but it takes a lot of patience and understanding to raise one.
It's very challenging because they have their own picky ways of eating and what they do with their day in, day out. So we try and communicate and try and understand them with how their ways. Yeah.
Visiting New Zealand specialist in child development Lucy Charles was overwhelmed at the turnout and the support shown for a worthy cause.
I think this has been really moving today. It's making me well up a little bit to think about how many people are here today to support autism. It's a strength as well as coming with lots of things to navigate. So the more that people are aware of the wonderful talents that young people have who have autism, it's the better. And supporting, families coming together and supporting each other.
There is a growing number of autism on the island. However, there is no current statistics on this yet. The walk was focused on raising awareness on autism and also bringing April Autism Awareness Month to an end.
The third and final round of the Niue Motu Nines Rugby League tournament took place last Saturday. With the 4 teams going up head-to-head in their final round, the games of the day were left to overall winning champions Tuapa. They are the undefeated champions for their 3rd year in a row in the Nines tournament. Here's more on this story. Celebrating the 50th Constitution year, Motu Rugby League kicked off the season with a free round-robin tournament held over 6 weeks, featuring Hakupu, Alofi, Avasele and Tuapa. It was a tough final playoff last Saturday for the 4 teams, but the winners of the tournament went to Tuapa, 2nd place to Avasele, 3rd to Alofi and 4th Hakupu. Niue Rugby League President Zach Smith says it was a great outcome and congratulates all 4 teams for their efforts.
This tournament, another great success. 4 teams again. I think last year we had 3 teams. So Hakupu being the 4th team this year. It's good to see that all teams there was a balance in numbers. So it means there's more players getting involved. And it was a good tournament. We had 3 rounds this year. Compared to the 1 round in the previous years. I think the reason being we wanted our players to have more game time so they could develop their skills more in their game.
The most valuable player for the whole tournament went to Frankie Valiana. He was also the MVP for Tuapa. MVP for Avasele was Chadson Siakimotu. For Alofi, Apisinia Fkosimanavalui, and Hakupu, Jack Felisi. Motu Vice President Dave Ulukita says this year's Rugby League calendar is the busiest one to date. The committee are also running a Pacifica Youth Cup training sessions at Niue High School every Monday and Friday. They are also running camps during school holidays to select players to send over for the under 14s, 15s and 17s boys team for Niue in October. The committee are also looking at the Niue Girls Pacifica Youth Cup space in the hopes there will be interest amongst our local girls to also play in the Pacifica Youth Cup over in Auckland later this year, says Ulukita. With the Nines done and dusted, they look forward to the Open Men's South versus North series. Dates yet to be confirmed. The Niue Rugby League committee thanked everyone who supported and helped make the tournament a success. And before we end our news tonight, this Saturday, Makefu will be hosting their Village Show Day and invites all locals and visitors to come and support their festivities for the day. And that concludes our news bulletin for tonight. Join us again next week Tuesday for our Wangahau Niue Bulletin. Until then, wishing you all an enjoyable evening and rest of the week. Good night.